And Carlene knows I like when we have in studio. Hey, I like Zoom interviews. Don't get me wrong, but in studio, I just feel like you can reach out, touch folk.
It's special.
It's special. All right, so we have a couple that they have a passion for media production, but they also have a passion for helping people, helping the community, especially kids who wouldn't get certain opportunities. And we featured in here on WCNC Charlotte, and they do such great work. They do camps, and this Saturday they have a film premiering, and it got so popular that they had to switch the venues. So this just speaks to the great work that they're doing out there in the community. I want to bring them in. I was going to say Alex, but you introduced yourself as AJ, so I'm going to say AJ.
Yes.
AJ
yes.
Williams and Queen Williams, founders of the Creative Cornerstone. Thank you guys for stopping in.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us,
Yes.
man. This is an awesome studio, by the
Yes,
way.
it is.
Oh, appreciate it. So he gave us the blessing on the studio, so I'm like, all right, we're doing something right here.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
The audio visual people say, hey.
Right. I was nervous. I was like, I wonder what they're going
Yeah.
to say.
You see, when I first came, the first thing I did was look around and see, like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is a nice studio here. You guys got you know what you're doing.
How was the intro? The intro was good?
Yes, it was.
Oh,
We
yes.
appreciate it.
Okay.
Very humble.
I saw Queen nodding in my peripheral, so I'm like, all right, I'm on to something. I'm cooking right now. Let me continue.
The Queen, she took my hand underneath the table here, and we always pray before we do things, man. God first.
Yeah.
So
Start with a prayer. What's prayer?
absolutely.
Yeah,
I will.
come on. What's
hey,
up?
hey, are we praying?
Yeah, for real.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for each and every opportunity you bring to us. We thank you for the studio and the work that they're doing. We pray that their success just keeps continue to grow and grow, and they have an opportunity to be a blessing to others, and like ourselves who are trying to do your work and be in spaces where we are needed. We thank you for the very urge for us to be us, and we thank you for all the work that you're going to do through us now and the future, for Christ's sake and your glory. Amen.
Amen.
I'm for real. This is live impact news. You said prayer. I said I pray every morning. So there you go. I pray throughout the day too to get me through.
Yes,
I'm not going to hold.
You got to.
Let's start from the beginning. Where are you guys from?
Oh.
Well, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Born and raised.
Okay, you're rare. 'Cause there's not a lot of people from Charlotte. Where are you from, AJ?
I am from Syracuse, New York. We moved down here in 2019.
Moved down from Syracuse?
From Syracuse, New York to Charlotte.
Did y'all meet in Syracuse?
No, we
Nope.
met here in Charlotte.
Okay.
I was traveling back and forth.
Okay.
I worked in the pharmaceutical industry for years, and it kept me moving back and forth, and just having family and friends down here. And amongst all my travels, I met Queen.
Wow. Okay. Where did the media production bug get you guys? Where did it hit you guys?
Wow, there's from my side. I've always done. I took graphic arts in school, in college, and in graphic arts, photography was an elective. I had no idea that photography would grab me the way that it did, to the point to where I do that more than I enjoy doing that more than the graphic work, and that led into the media product, the film. So I was already doing photography and short stories and that kind of stuff there. And as we moved down here, it's just the company that we had up in New York, I closed down. We wanted to start fresh here and just put God out front, let him guide us.
Oh, okay. And I guess, was there a particular like documentary? Was it a film? Was there anything that sort of at an early age inspired you to get into this? Was there something
For
like
me,
that? Yeah, like that.
For me, I would say
I'm always interested when it comes to creative.
The
I'm
first
like,
thing
what is it?
the first thing I did, and I just knew I had the bug. If you asked me when I was younger, what you want to do, I want to run an advertisement agency.
Okay.
And first thing I did, I was in high school, and I made a Nike commercial. In my head, I didn't have the equipment, but I had that thing. I created the song and everying.
What era was this? Because at one point Nike was pumping out.
This was
iconic.
This was like way early. I'm dating myself now. So this was like in the late '80s, early '90s.
Okay.
Where I did this.
Okay, so this is before Well, maybe Spike Lee as far
Yeah,
as
this
Nike
was this
commercials.
was before Spike Lee.
Okay, okay.
I was a kid, but
Okay,
he
okay.
was Spike Lee. Like in the next couple of years, Spike Lee had just popped, and that was
Okay.
yeah. Up in New York, you heard of Spike Lee before that. I don't think anyone had heard him prior
Okay.
to his first couple of big movies.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I see the hat Creativity Evolved.
yeah,
That's the company. The nonprofit is Cornerstone, Creative Cornerstone.
right,
Correct.
right.
When did you guys start the company?
That launched back in 2021.
20. Okay.
So we moved down here in 2019, and right around, after that, COVID hit, and we were still thinking, okay, we want to start the company and see what that looks like.
Right.
And we've already had the name. We were actually talking about this the other day. The name was already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it was on one of the posters because it spelled out, who we are as creatives. So Creativity Evolved. And then I was like, what are we going to name it? The same thing? It was like, it's right here. And so launched in 2021.
Yeah, it was an undertag on a studio that I started with my son. He had this idea, and I said, I'm going to make it brick and mortar for you, son.
Yeah.
And so he was in school and stuff, and I said, this is what we do. So when we were in New York, I started the studio, and that one was Unorthodox
yeah.
Studios. So we had an Unorthodox Studios up there.
Yeah.
And the sub tag I put underneath there to help describe what we do, it was Creativity Evolved. And so we moved down here, like, what are we going to name this studio? And then got this poster on the wall with the big Creativity Evolved on the bottom of it. Like, that's it.
That's the
it.
name.
And we still use Unorthodox. We tag it because that's my son's movement. And I like to, his family. He does the same kind of things that I do. So.
Was it hard to get your footing here in Charlotte? Like, I mean, you're from here, but was it like being an entrepreneur, like starting a company? Was that what was that? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but how was that starting out?
I can tell you this. When we first came, it was excuse me, fighting this cough. But when we first came, when I would meet people and other creatives here at first, and everyone was open to it, yeah. But then when I let them know that I was a photographer, a cinematographer, and then it kind of like everyone kind of it tightened up on you real quick. Like all of a sudden, the defense went up. Like like they were hoarding. Like there's not enough room for another. And my train of thought was like, I literally came down here to kind of like, I wanted to mesh and dive into the Charlotte creative community big time. But I found that this the market here was at that time, I don't know if it still is, probably is, and I'm probably part of it now, but it was kind of cliquey and just standoffish. Now, for Charlotte's sake, everyone is kind of protective of what's yours.
Right.
But at the same time, when you were having an explosion, like you can look years back when Atlanta was having its explosion, you were expecting, you want to build with the greatest creatives that you can come around, that you can build with, right? And so as Charlotte is going through this explosion, I just pray that they just be more receptive and then help build each other up, because that's what we do.
So we're still going through that. And I was about to ask you that, though.
No, we're not. We're not going through it anymore.
Okay.
But when I first came,
when you first came, okay.
When I first came, that's what I was going through. And then I guess people wanted to know that I wasn't a flash in the pan, that I was serious, and needed to know some of my work. Once I opened the studio, I started meeting so many people in Charlotte. And there's so many good creatives here in Charlotte. It's through the roof. I love the circle of friends and creatives that I am involved with now from the Charlotte area, and we all just uplift each other. But I didn't just walk through that door like, hey,
I'm here.
Like, hey, pause. Who are you? Why are you here?
It was kind of gatekeeping.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I understand it to an extent. I just wish it was a little bit more welcoming, but I'm on the inside of this now, and I understand, why, I do get right off the gate why people would, hey, stop them at the door, like, we want to know who you are before we invite you into the circle. So one of the things we started doing with our studio, we would hold creative socials to get any creators, and we announced, listen, man, we're here just to meet people and we want to know. And so it's kind of like we had to prove our authenticity. This ain't a flash in the pan. We're here to stay. So we decided to relocate. The Queen, she came up to New York with me, and with me, when we came down this way, it was like, when we come back home, which is where we are now, when we head down to Charlotte, bringing everything that is me. And
Yeah.
back up in New York, I still got a buddy up there, All Grown Up Entertainment. He's got maybe like close to 20 films published now. Amazon Prime, Tubi, Peacock. Wow. Yeah, and I'm on probably about half of those films as a DP or a cinematographer in some form or fashion, and I've acted in 3, one of them in a major role.
Wow! Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats to you both. It's one thing to start a company. It's one thing to just think about, hey, what do I have going on? And we all have stuff going on in our lives.
Right.
Man. We got to pay the bills. We got to take care of the kids. We got to,
Right.
Yada yada yada. But you wanted to help the community, kids.
Right.
Like, when did that get introduced, or was that always a part of the plan? And where did the name come from? I know I kind of threw a lot out there.
Yeah.
But I'm just so curious.
You want to take that one, Queen?
Sure. We decided this was a passion project well before we moved down here, that we knew we wanted to start a nonprofit, wasn't quite sure when, and we knew we wanted to make sure it connected to the youth. So when we started Creativity Evolve in 2021, the following year we had, our first year, and we started, the momentum and seeing that it was a lot of creatives that were interested in what we were doing and the collaborations that we were seeking to have between the different types of genres and disciplines. But we saw there was a lot of young people that were wanting to take control of their own, media outlets and what they were interested in. So that's where Creative Cornerstone came into play. It's like, how can we teach them this business mindset of owning your craft, but looking at it from a business perspective? And so that's where the combination came from. Like, hey, let's teach them, show you how to work within spaces of music production, film, photography, and then the different spiders of that, acting and public speaking, and the connections within the community, and seeing how you can use that as a business and, be profitable within there, and then connect and collaborate. And so that's how those connections came, and we saw that a lot of youth and adults, we have a lot of adults that come to us and like, hey, you gonna teach us too? Are seeking those connections, and we're seeing like, wow, this is a trade opportunity, because we are moving into the elements of you have to present yourself in whatever you're doing in some kind of media outlet of some way, right?
Yeah.
You have to understand those that background. So understanding that and applying to your discipline, we see that there's so much more we can do within this space. And so the youth, they're all about, hey, how can I learn something now and run with it? Some are looking into college, of course, and we never push that away, because we both went. The biggest part of it is that you don't have to wait. And so we say, hey, listen, get the tools now and start putting into place, start building your portfolio. And so that's the direction that we are right now.
And you guys do camps, right? You just wrapped up the summer camp.
We did, yes.
Right. Yeah.
How was the camp? I guess what I want to ask is, you're teaching the kids so much, but what are they teaching you?
Patience.
You said that quick.
This camp was interesting. We realized when we did our first year, and which was last year, a lot of people assume we've been around for a while for the nonprofit, and we just completed 1 year of our nonprofit.
And this is a look at the camp right here on your screen, right here. I'm just for the viewing audience.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Is that it?
Yeah.
But we just completed 1 year, and now we're on our second camp that we just finished up, and we're realizing that within the growth, there's the emotional part as well that you have to cater to with the youth, because we're approaching them with the creative side, but they're still people. And so we've learned, especially during this particular camp, is that there's so many sides of them, and how can we, moving forward, help cater to not just that, right? We have, you don't know what people are going through in their home lives. And because we do actively seek out youth in disadvantaged communities, that the lack is not just the lack of equipment.
Yeah.
The lack can be the lack of, someone's, pushing your home, or it could be food. It could be so many different things. And so we're realizing that we can't just say, hey, it's just about the music, or it's just about the film. It's the whole person. And how can we ensure that we are doing what we're called to do within the space.
Yeah, you definitely a lot of counseling.
Yeah.
And sometimes in this space, is I find that some of the young men who you just need to be solid there for them, and just a sounding board for them. Hey, let it out, but you need to come do here with me. This can't happen here. And at the same time, you have to protect that space for the other kids.
Right.
So that it gets patience.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like you literally, when you say, listen, man, God put you here for a reason because you can handle it. We're in that space, and so we have to be able to handle it. We're smart enough to put things in place, and now we're moving forward. And that's what this summer has taught us. Like last year, it was like last year was like, what do you call it? The fairy glasses. Everything was beautiful, and oh man, this was an awesome thing.
Rose-colored glasses.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
rose-colored glasses. This year, we had a couple of bumps. We're like, okay, we see gaps, and so we, fixing the gaps. But as far as the creativity, through the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, through the roof. And the turn up from last year, we had students from last year, and then new students here. Just the turn up of the quality. I got students who, one of them, he's already producing music. He's already selling music. We helped him create a
Really?
sound library, and he's just in that space, and he's doing well. I also have another student. She's like 15 years old, and she is a phenomenal photographer. But I can see some of the gaps that she needs to fix. So a couple of things. I showed her a couple of lighting tricks, and it just with those few tips just threw her through the roof. She's like, oh, I cannot wait to get back and shoot this now, and just see that
Wow.
burn and desire in her. And she's already working. She was working when she came to us. I just want to make her a better photographer, and she's 15.
Wow, 15.
Yeah, she's 15, and she's good with that camera. So
Man.
yeah. So it's the creative side. It's the more that people find out that we're here and what we do, they get in and they want to be in the space, and we don't turn anyone away. So if anyone watching this audience wise,
Right.
if you are not let's say the typical disadvantage, as a nonprofit, you have to target, and that's where you get your funding sources from.
Right.
So we have to target that. But if you are not that and you want to come and learn these skills, sign up. Because as these, if we got a space of 25 kids and we got 21 kids, well, there's 4 kids that I can pull in this program. I had a couple this year, and we pulled in this program, and one of these kids is phenomenal through the roof. I look forward to working with this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love media production, and I love to see kids that got to burn for it the way that I do. And so when they ask those questions, and it's the whole reason why we started. We had the for-profit, but a lot of people come in and they love what we're doing. They love the idea conceptually, but they couldn't afford to. Hey, I can't afford to come in here and spend X amount per hour for this or extra. But I still wanted to pour into them. So Queen and I were talking. We got to figure out a way to help these kids.
Let's talk about the film.
Yes.
'Cause, did the film come from the summer camp, this year's summer camp, or is it something that you gradually been working on? Walk me through that.
Yes, it came from the summer camp.
Okay.
So what sets our nonprofit apart is it's not just we, teach the skills, it's application. And within application, there needs to be some kind of project. And so anytime we have a workshop or summer camp or what the case may be, where we're spending a lot more time with the youth, teaching them those elements, they're applying it to the final project, which is the film. So the music production camp, they were working towards the score, the cinematography, and the actors that we brought on. The youth as well were working towards the actual film itself and writing and directing the film. And so that'll be this Saturday. We are premiering it at Goodyear Arts
Okay.
over at Camp North End, but very excited about it.
And you had to change the location. I got
Yes,
your
we did.
text. I checked the website too. I was like, well, maybe the website has the old address. They didn't update it yet. But no, that's the new location, the Goodyear Arts at Camp North End. Because we talked about it on the phone, Queen, that you were hoping more people come out and anticipating more people to come out, but to have that actually happen and have the community support, like what does that mean?
The biggest thing for me is my background is marketing.
Yeah.
I have my master's in strategic communications, and so I recognize that you want the numbers because there's always a percentage that may or may
Right.
not show up. And so
Yeah.
it's like, okay, if you get 50 people, there's this percentage that may or may not show up. And so I always like to keep the doors open and keep it open like, hey, not all 77 may or may not show up. But when we opened it up to the community and to the parents, we say, hey, listen, go ahead and get your tickets for your kids.
Right.
Just for numbers wise, because everything was free to them. I was telling AJ yesterday, we opened it up, to 90. We already had 77, and then I looked up and it was 88. I said, okay. I said, all right, well, this is going to be gone by the time we get on air today to talk about it. But the feeling within it is great because we want the whole purpose was, and I told AJ, every year I want us to grow. I want more visibility, and as a nonprofit, it's important to show that, especially when valuation-wise, like, hey, listen, this is where your funding is going. We're touching
Right.
this many youth. Our goal is to, grow by 25 to 50% by 2026, and this is how we're doing this, how we're going to evaluate it, from attendance to, continued education with the youth, and then following them past the camp, right? Because it's not just come to our camp and then that's it. What are other things we can do, the after-school programs, the fall programs, leading up? How can we follow you throughout your whole career to ensure that you have support? And so it feels great. And so I'm excited. I'm hoping that everyone shows up to the point where we're like, all right, we got a standing room, so I'm down.
Yeah.
What about for you, AJ?
For me, the growth is it's kind of like a dream, in a sense, like when you dream something, we dream, we talk about it, we get to pray on it, and then my thing from that point is just move out in expectation, man. From that point, I'm going, and sometimes I have to have Queen stop. All right, man, I need you to slow down, Bulldog. But I just push it to get, and a lot of times you just gotta wait, and when you dream it and you pray on it, and then it's time for action. Like it's an old song I used to, from an old cartoon, and it says even a miracle needs a hand, right? It's a Christmas one. You remember that?
Nah, I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
If y'all listening, y'all know this song, man. Tag him with that song.
Maybe he's not singing it right. I don't know.
Yeah, but
she gave me the eye, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it's just you plan, you pray, and then all right, let's move out in expectation. And so sometimes you have to pause and wait because now ain't the time. You got to be able to hear and see that, all right, this ain't the time. And so that she's like, I'm all creative and gusto, and she's like, yeah, she'll help to pause me and say, hey, let's check these things out, do these things, just making sure that we got everything in order. So creative side, I hate to say it, but I get to have all the fun.
Yeah.
And she makes sure that we're in order.
The balance.
Yeah, it is the balance.
I got to find the money so that he can. that's what
That part too.
Before I let you guys go, what's next? Ooh. I know that's a heavy question, and that could be a scary question, but I
can answer that.
Okay.
I can answer that as far as what the structure, and then we'll let the money queen talk. Because here I'm going to dream. All right.
Okay.
So this is what it is. So we have like 3 things that we do. We do the summer camp, and the spring workshops and the fall workshops. Yeah. In between, I try to work on the Creativity Evolve kind of stuff there, where we're shooting films and looking to revamp my film company here. Since moving from New York, I will go back and forth to New York, and I'm looking to start that here. Okay. So I have a short film plan. Talented writer right out of this area, Ezekiel. If you're watching, Zeke, I know you will because I point you to it eventually. And he's a talented writer. He has like 30 plus awards for his screenwriting. And he came in on one of our last events, and we did a short film from that. But just the nonprofit and the for-profit planning and moving forward. We have the creative clubs that we look to continue to do stuff with the kids from the nonprofit. I want to do a junior marketing firm with these guys where we target doing marketing for other nonprofits and people in need, that kind of thing. So it's really not just taking the community, the kids out of the community to learn. Now it's application. You're
Okay.
doing these kind of things, and if we can pull income from it, then that helps for them to buy equipment or maybe put money in their pocket if they want to go to school, or just if they just, hey,
Wow.
this is what I want to do. So as we get the creative clubs, so we hone skills, the junior marketing firms, so we can get these kids into doing something to make an income. And then continue that cycle of the for-profit, the summer camps, the spring and fall workshops.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, and those are all great. It's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen.
Told you I'm dreaming.
No, those are all great. Those are all great. You look at it from like, okay, these are the short-term goals, these are the long-term
Right.
goals, and then we kind of go from there. And so for me, specifically, it's going to be the capacity growing.
Yeah.
And the focus is growing our team and recognizing that we have opportunities to move into the schools. We're going to be doing some work with CMS, which is amazing, which is what we wanted to do is, whet the youth's appetite while they're there in schools, and then introduce them to any of our after-school programs that
Right.
we have to offer in our spring workshops. And so now we're being able to touch them in different places of their day, instead of it just being, all right, just the spring or just the summer camp, or maybe just the fall. So that's one aspect of growth. And like AJ said, we definitely want to start that youth production program, because I think that'd be amazing for them. And for me, dreaming is going to be creating the pipeline. I see us as a trade school, in the way of how we would see, back in the day, you would go get go into, contracting, or you would go into plumbing and all those HVAC.
Right.
I see that, but I see it for media, and the growth is there and the need is there. It's just pointing them in the right direction. Us being able to give them certificates and say, hey, you completed a program with Creative Cornerstone, and those who see it say, oh yes, that's a great program. We're gonna, that's something amazing to be on your resume. And so that's my dream goal for us moving forward. But the next things are going to be the after school program. We're going to be communicating or making made a connection, with Macquarie Wise Best Buy Teen Tech Center.
Okay.
And so they have a full Teen Tech Center there, and so we're going to be able to do some after school work with them. So that's another way that we're going to be able to tell our youth, like, hey, listen, we just finished this program. You want to continue on? We're going to be here so we can learn more and do more hands-on moving into the spring.
Man, you guys have a lot of work ahead. But look, you guys are doing amazing work. I'm grateful to have you on here. If you're not familiar, check their website out. Check our story. That story was about a year old at this point, probably a little bit longer than that. Maybe
Our nonprofit are active. We're working on our second year now.
Yeah.
And that's active.
Okay.
But we started in 2022. But
Okay.
actively working, we had 1 year where it just sat there because we were still building the for-profit. But
Time is just moving. It's hard to keep track of time at this point.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Again, check them out. AJ and Queen Williams, the Creative Cornerstone, Creativity Evolved. They are amazing people, do great work. I know them. I feel like I know you guys from afar. I know we just met, but doing a deep dive and watching our past story, I feel like I know y'all. Y'all like family. So I'm just saying that.
We're here. I mean, we can come. We can
we're
come
here
all the
for it.
time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're here for it.
We always say, come back. We don't want you to be
We
a
would love to
one-time
come back
guest.
and to bring perhaps like a couple of the students. The ones that
Let's
I'm
make it
talking
happen.
about. These kids.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I do want to say, okay, so AJ just found this out, but when I was younger, I had this, this dream of, being a newscaster, and, I was really good. I mean, I'm a character,
Okay.
but I keep it to the back because we both
does.
can't be characters.
Okay.
But when I'm in that lane, I'm
Yeah.
amazing. I can say that with confidence and with humility. I'm amazing.
I can second that.
And so, I would love to, Give me a mic. I can point me to the direction. I can tell you what's going on.
Give
what's
me a
happening.
camera. Point me in the
You know
right
what I'm
direction.
saying?
I'm an amateur photographer. Like I want to sharpen my skills.
down.
You can come out
100%.
shooting with us.
Hey, we will make something happen. I'm serious. I'm serious.
serious.
We are
too.
serious. Come out shooting with us.
100%.
I am so serious.
I'll show you how to
Look,
work that thing. What kind? Are you a Sony shooter?
I don't know. Man. We got to start from the beginning. Like,
All right. Well,
yeah.
well, I tell you what. All our cameras. And big shout out to Sony Create Action. Is that right for me to do a name drop here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sony Create Action. Big shout out to Sony for sponsoring our program. They're
Yes.
our corporate sponsor, and we have all Sony equipment through them.
Yes.
We dream again. When you pray and you dream and stuff like that. And that's exactly what we did. I said that would be awesome if we can get Sony to back us here. And lo and behold, they had this thing out where they were looking for someone to back. So we applied. We're new. We haven't really even started our first program yet, and we sent out that information through the application, and they called back. They said, "You guys are exactly what we're looking for."
Wow.
Talk about God putting things
That's
in
God.
favor,
That's all
man.
God right there.
Because we hadn't even did our first program yet,
Right.
and Sony came on board with us. Big shout out to Sony Create Action, the whole Creative Action
Yay.
team.
And
Jessica, please watch this.
and shout out to AJ and Queen. Look, if you missed this interview, you can catch it on our YouTube page, also WCNC.com. Again, I just want to throw out there film premieres. The name of the film again? I had it over here, but
This is Summer Gem Showdown.
Summer Gem
Gems Showdown. Now this one we brought a great director, actor, acting coach.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Kia Hamilton.
Kia.
Okay.
She's actually one of our board members, but she likes to be active as far as nonprofit work as well. So she came on, she wrote this one, and then she assisted. And she did the casting, wrote it,
Yeah.
and then she assisted me while I was out shooting the film with the kids.
wow.
Yeah, when you're independent, you wear so many hats. So I
Yeah.
can't say she did this or
Yeah.
that there. We wear thousands of hats as compared to like a union, and you got all these different positions that are this is what you do. So we wear 1,000 hats, and that's what we all did with some of the kids. We plugged them in place. We had fun shooting this, and it's a nice little short for the kids.
Oh yeah.
And you can catch that. Well, I don't know unless you got to take it out.
I mean, you can come in.
Still come.
You can still come?
We say
Okay.
we
Still
tell people
I didn't wanna
first
invite
come,
people.
first serve. They come.
Yeah,
Okay.
Please,
I mean,
please.
I didn't want to invite people if you know.
Come on
Put
down.
200 in the
You
building.
know how like when you throw a party
Standing only.
and they say they invite you, but then
Yes.
you bring like
Some extra people.
yeah, that's like my family.
Yeah.
Quick story: my brother graduated from high school. We asked one family member, "Hey, come." They brought a whole caravan of family members I ain't seen in 10 years. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't want to do that. So
No, that's
Family.
But hey, when your
Come.
brother crossed that stage, what happened? That place erupted
It
because all the love
erupted.
that you brought into that space.
well, they couldn't get into the graduation ceremony. It's a cookout. It's a cookout. It's a cookout.
Well, at least at the
Oh,
cookout.
Yeah, it was a cookout.
He had some extra food.
They got to
Oh,
eat
we
the
always got
burgers
extra
in.
food. You know,
Okay.
we always got extra food.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, But anyway, I can go. I got stories for days. AJ and Queen, thank you for your time
Thank
again.
you.
That film premieres at Goodyear Arts at Camp North End this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, thank you guys for your time.
Absolutely.
Hang around for just a moment. We're going to shift to something else.